name is Jacob Hartley Rosser. Turned 14 on April 6th. My favorite movie, Star Wars. I like boxing or Lord of the Rings and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Like most 14-year-olds like games.
Jacob's creative. He's got a heart of gold. He's extremely compassionate, empathetic. He's kind, but he's tortured. Every day, there is some kind of mental torture that occurs to him, that happens to him.
The real thing that I have that is the big threat is Shadow, which is the name of the OCD, the mental illness. I have a hard life most of the time with a lot of stuff that has happened for me for the past 11 years. And most of it isn't pleasant.
So it was really about grade 3 or grade 4 when we noticed things were not quite right. And then in grade 5 there was a full meltdown, a breakdown, complete breakdown at school. So he was scared of DNA transferal, he got scared of amnesia, he got scared of all these strange things that, again, you think maybe it's just his creativity because he's an extremely creative child. But then they became obsessions. And once they became obsessions, compulsions started coming out. So he started spitting. So when you get a bad thought, he spits to get rid of the bad thought. So all these things just started mounting, and then it spiraled and spiraled and spiraled downwards to the point where he was completely incapacitated. He couldn't leave the house. He couldn't touch water. It became a struggle to do just the basics of life.
Well, if it's a good day, it would be like the me you see today. But if it was a bad day, I would be depressed, stressed, stimming.
It's very challenging on the whole family. If he's having a bad day, it affects everybody. It's like a domino effect. Is Jacob in a good mood, or is it a bad day? And if it's a good day, it's wonderful. But even so, it's hard. He's got a little sister, and it's difficult on her. So it affects the whole family.
His mother is a longtime friend of mine, and we work together in Ottawa right now, so I've known Jacob for a few years, and I've very quickly realized that he's a very special young man, and he's not afraid to talk about some challenges he's facing, so he's going to help me create awareness and learn more about mental health so we can actually step up and do something.
The reason why I'm here today is I wanted to meet Jacob. Mr. Maloney had told me about Jacob. He thought I'd be interested in meeting with him. And it's been fascinating talking to him to understand some of the worries that he has as someone who has some mental health issues that are serious ones that he is dealing with.
I have autism, a severe case of obsessive compulsive disorder, and ADHD, a bunch of letters that make me sound like I could be at the University of Toronto with you. But I am doing this because I want to give hope to others, and I want to share stuff because I want kids to know that they are not alone.
70% of adults who have a mental illness had the first signs when they were in their teens or younger. If we can address the problem of mental illness with people in that age group, we're going to make it a lot better for them when they get older. My son took his own life because of mental illness, and one of the things that he said to me while he was suffering was, "Dad, don't tell anybody where I am." He was in the mental health hospital at the time.
I understand exactly what he said because I had what people would have called the blitz. Like, it was a blitz that happened, and it was an overwhelming wave of emotions, and now it's one of the reasons why I don't like to be touched by anyone except my mom, because it's a fear of contamination, because it feels like touching people, there's more behind it in my head it says that it's a poison to the DNA and it would contaminate me, and so I understand how your kid would have been like, because even I myself feel like there's no place for a kid like us.
What would you like to tell other people why they should get out and help too?
Because there are people out there that will bully you and push you down and make you so mad that you just want to commit suicide. And I felt that. Sometimes I feel like I should jump on the roof of my house and jump off, like, because it would be more free somewhere, that in a place that would be where there would be no worries, just basically a universal place where you shine all the time. But that's the thing.
But you're shining right now. I can tell you that because he's got such a good understanding of what he is dealing with, issues, with problems, those letters behind your name that others don't have. But
yeah.
Let me tell you why I do this work with in the field of mental health. During my time as a member of Parliament, during my time working, I have run into people who personally have mental health issues or who have family with mental health issues. I say the best thing that we can do is talk about them. And the interesting thing is, you think of other illnesses, like heart, like cancer,
yeah.
like diabetes.
Yeah,
like,
they're more known about because people talk about it, and
yeah.
the best thing to cure something is awareness.
And one of the things I admire about young Jacob here is he's doing something that when people his age, when I was his age, people were afraid to talk about mental illness. He's one of the bravest young kids I've ever met in my life.
I would keep up doing what you're doing because you're going to inspire other people and they're going to take comfort. And well, there's Jacob, he's talking about it, so I can talk about it too.
The more people are aware of it and the more people understand what it's all about, I think the better it is for those who struggle with mental health and also those who need to provide services for those people. But also, not to let that overtake the reality of the person, because while these people are struggling, and that's one of the reasons we want to come forward for people to understand that, they are beautiful people, and to not let the illness prejudge the person.
With Jacob, what I was encouraging him to do is keep talking, because one of the things we don't do enough of is talk about mental illness. And that is, I think, the most important thing that we can do is to encourage a conversation about mental illness.
Awareness is the most important tool to everything.